fact, even though other sports are now starting to look at mixed ability teams, rugby's at the forefront. Okay. Leon, do you want to tell me what's happening here?
We play rugby there.
Okay, what kind of rugby do we play?
Right rugby union there. We can get tackled.
You can get tackled, yeah.
Yeah.
What about the scrums?
Yeah, doing jumped.
Are they contested or
Uncontested jumped.
Uncontested, cool.
Okay,
Yeah. Why don't we play tag?
This time we turned to match, they don't play tag rugby, don't play better rugby.
right.
So a student of mine came and he said, I don't want to play tag
They
rugby.
don't play proper rugby.
He wants to play proper rugby. And he had cerebral palsy and learning disabilities. Actually, let's go a little bit more on the picture. So, tell us a bit who's carrying the ball. You know him from your team.
Yeah, his name,
Kevin?
Yeah.
he used to be a bodybuilder, but
Wow.
he played
Wait.
rugby.
With a body like that, it's not really good.
I think actually won some gold.
Yeah.
He did.
Special
He
Olympics.
did.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so tell me about that now then. Crotchet, who plays for the first team, plays for the Bees first team. So we are, what's that team called? What's the name of your team?
Bumblebee.
Okay, so the Bumblebees are at the home of Bradford and Bingley, so Bradford and Bingley, Bees. So there's the Bees first, Vets, seconds have just folded, Colts, several junior teams, nearest ladies is at Halifax. So the Bumbles are just another team in that club. Let's be clear about this. And so here's Crotchet, who's now playing in the first team, and he's acting as a support, facilitator. So he's telling Kev, get down there now, get through smashing, and he's kind of facilitating Kevin carrying that ball. But he's not carrying the ball for him. Okay. Michael, what point is it? Maybe you could tell us what's happening on the second picture.
Second, we do presentations about rugby clubs, other clubs, Warford, Bingley, Saltaire.
You haven't been to them all, have you?
No.
What do we do on a Wednesday?
On the Wednesday, we speak about it, on about each type of stuff, what do, we do rugby type of stuff.
What's that?
All of our class members there, Gurus, me, Hassan.
I'm good as well.
Yeah, Hassan is a bit mouth mighty.
He's not here to do that.
It's a bit harsh, isn't it? Okay, so how many people are in the class roughly?
About 14 or 13.
Yeah, okay. So, and they are all players?
All players for the Bumbles.
Okay. And they all have learning difficulties or on the autistic spectrum somewhere? So what we did was, initially, we just started to play rugby. And the background story is, Anthony said in one of my classes he wanted to play full contact rugby. They tried to fob him off with tag rugby, but he's got cerebral palsy. And so having cerebral palsy meant at least one side of him, you just had to run past the side of him with cerebral palsy, you couldn't get your tag off. He also said it's for kids and he didn't want to be labelled as being disabled, he wanted the opportunity to play full contact. So we set up a team, more by luck than judgment really. The first session we had four players with disabilities and 8 coaches. So after that session, that was back in 2009. We started monthly coaching sessions, they became fortnightly, eventually they became weekly sessions. And eventually the CRCs withdrew, so we didn't need them anymore because the club coaches were coming through, younger players were beginning to support the team and play alongside them. We actually took the model from something that's been running in Wales for 25 years anniversary this year actually. 2 residential, day services for adults with learning disabilities, played rugby with their staff because it's Wales, didn't they? And when we started up, we got advice from the Welsh clubs, and they said, well, try not to use paid staff because they tend to drift off when they're not being paid. Make it a team. If you can, get it based in with a club. And so we took their advice, and then we found that other local clubs liked it.
Like Halifax.
Yeah, Halifax. So we helped set up a team there.
Set up a team in Halifax, set up a team in Hull.
Wow.
Not Tipton, no.
Not Skipton, no. We play Skipton.
Castlewood.
It's a good point though, who do we play? Do we play other mixed ability teams?
No, like vet
Best teams.
team, like second, yeah. Refereed.
Yeah, we've had some special teams come together just to play as referees teams, two referees teams.
It's all on
Selections.
Social sides, but it's actually taking mixed ability out into the community more than, and that's why other clubs decided they wanted to follow it up. So for about a year now, we've been working with England Rugby to roll the model out across the country, and we're going to clubs like this, and these guys do. It's not always these two; it just varies from.
In England, is it predominantly Yorkshire based?
No, it was initially because we were doing it for free. Because we just were going out and doing it for the love of it, and because we had a class running. So, but it is now in the south of England as well. So the furthest we've done actually was Oakmedians, yeah. So that's right.
I want to be playing them down in Oxford.
Ah, right, cool.
We'll have to check when we go down there.
Yeah. Well, they've just had a little gap because the guy who was the driver or the champion of it, his mum died, unfortunately. So the team's just gone a bit quiet at the moment, but they should be picking back up again as the weather warms.
Your outside's in London.
Yeah, Letchworth Garden City, I believe some of you might have met down here. Yeah.
They came down.
Yeah. I think we might have a little video so you might recognise yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, do you want to talk about the medical side?
Yeah, that's what we do now. As Mark said, rugby was at the forefront of mixed ability. We started because we all come from rugby. After that, two years ago, 2015, we organised an international tournament from Italy. We had contacts across Europe, and the Rugby World Cup was here. So we said, why not to? So we had 400 players roughly for 5 days. Sundays Argentina.
Yeah.
Who won the tournament?
Ireland, we came second, but we all beat Ireland.
We helped them setting up the team, and they beat us.
Yeah.
But after that, we had interest from Sport England, so we did a consultation in Bradford, and we identified 7 new sports, so we're trying now to set up. What more sports are there?
There's like boxing, bowling, rowing, cricket, tennis.
I can't remember either.
Golf.
They're
10 for.
10 sports.
7 sports.
Yeah, 7
sports.
Yes, 10 for.
And they all want to replicate this model.
They all want to do what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Same rules. So we don't want to play adaptive tennis or adaptive rowing. I mean, it's just minor adjustment just to allow everyone to join in. Like Leon said, so the only one, for example, in rugby is uncontested scrum.
Yeah.
For the rest, all on the same law.
In terms of the minor adjustments, can I just say that there are some great examples, and hopefully we'll have, because it's going to be informal, a chance to discuss what do you do with somebody who's on the autistic spectrum and non-verbal. What do you do with somebody who's not handled a ball before? And the answer is
Work it out.
Yeah, work it out with them. Yeah, it is work it out with them, and you can involve them in rugby to a larger or lesser extent. I mean, at Letchworth Garden City, I remember Nick saying that for the first however many months, the other guy just ran up and down the pitch, sort of following the line at the side of the pitch. He didn't want to get tackled or hurt with his. I think he's playing now. So.
Yeah, Michael said that we have a class that is funded by the Workers' Educational Association, both Mark and myself have children, so we have the chance with these guys to go around, deliver presentation, put together a presentation like this one, but also to, what do we do in class?
We put two tie, we put two to tie.
So we have some
booklets, posters we do for certain stuff, mainly for like booklet for if you want more information about all of this, it's like in there.
In a booklet.
Yeah.
So easy to read, accessible resources, they
can
can
take it
share.
somewhere afterwards and have a look afterwards.
But and where did we go, Mike? A couple of weeks ago.
You're on this presentation.
Oh, we went to Bundles.
What's that?
The out centre, where all people sit or...
No, boilers is like nurses, physios, doctors. What's the last word?
It.
Yeah, and then
We've got healthcare specialists.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and we have to put together this network in Bradford, and that's why I think for English quite interesting, because we can just have them signposting all the different activities. It's not like a referral system, which is a bit more complicated. And just say,
Yeah.
well, actually, now you can have something to join in, so like different groups,
Yeah.
and if you don't like rugby, because rugby, we know that it's not for everyone, but
Yeah.
you can now have 10 years or already you can
Sure.
try something different. And it's not just about joining new sports, it's about the social networks, it's about
Yeah.
creating that kind of supportive
Community centres and things.
Yes.
This is you're heading in exactly the right direction. We began with a very narrow tunnel of players, really, which was people with learning disabilities, those on the autistic spectrum, learning difficulties, and even then it gets blurred, and it's never black and white. You know yourselves from the work that we've done. So where we've gone now is we've gone a little bit larger, and we've said to them, look, actually, it's really up to anybody. It doesn't matter what size body you've got. So, for example, at Castleford recently, another team that helped set up, they've just formed an initiative with a local rugby league team, not playing rugby league, playing rugby union, where they were running a fat fighters club, for want of a better word. And they got those guys to come down, join in, and become part of the mixed ability team. And they just played.
Preparing world tournament.
Castleford did, yeah, but this is a new thing that they've done. So to bolster their numbers and to give people a new opportunity, they've included them as part of their mixed ability team. So you've still got people with a variety of abilities. And these guys were mostly big guys, but they were new to rugby.
Yeah, but what we are discovering now, we started with having mostly players with learning disability, but now it's really open to anyone. A couple of days ago we met with IMAS Society, Parkinson Society,
Yeah.
Alzheimer's, so they see mixed ability as a new way of reintegrating people in activities.
Yeah.
And the ages, sorry,
Yeah.
do you look at mainly 16 upwards?
I'll tell you the thing we found so far, we want to start to do the work with children and young people, and we will, I'm sure, at some point start doing that, but we're looking for the right formula. If you can imagine that, I'm thinking of Paul, for example, who's got cerebral palsy. When he's coming at you with the ball, he's kind of lurching at you from one side, and I think as adults, an opposing team would work out that Paul's not going to need smashing to the ground, and in fact what they would do is turn him around, and this happens on the pitch, he smashes into them, and they'll be turning around and encouraging him almost to pass out the ball, so they become facilitators as well, and they love that. Other teams, opposing teams, love that. So with children it's slightly different in that the more competitive element doesn't have the sort of empathy and understanding, and Paul might find himself knocked to the ground and with the ball straight to the ball. Now we have had that happen on a couple of occasions with teams where certain individuals haven't been quite so understanding, and what's happened previously is that either their own team takes them off or some of our facilitators make sure that they don't play for any longer. So it kind of does work its way out in a very lovely fashion.
Yeah, but just to go back to that point, we stick to few regulations, so it's 17 plus so far, because there's a mixed ability side, it's just not a family within a group, so we have to follow their rules.
It's interesting to mention though, in Europe, they're already starting to have mixed ability teams, so men and women playing on the same team. Long term, it's a maybe, isn't it? But we'd have to get through World Rugby then.
So contract mixed.
Yeah.
I've heard of it in Holland up to the age of 16, even up to 18. And of course, when the girls then come over here, they smash our girls to pieces. They all come over like this. I can play with the boys for so long. They're meatheads.
So it could be the future. Right now, this is the future. We're at the cutting edge. Do you want the words?
Yeah.
Who wants to start then?
Michael start.
But what about you start? So why don't you say what
Who we are? We are mixed ability rugby players. We are autism, learning disabilities, And disposed.
We are a place with mental health issues and physical disabilities.
Go on, you take this one.
We are a place with autism, Asperger's and cell palsy, hearing sight problems, and diabetes, Down we even able bodies. Big.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good job.
It's good as a game.
Yeah.
Who is that then?
Shall we see if it works?
Yeah, but on 15 Martin.
Mixed ability rugby is the concept of playing rugby, but instead of it just being able-bodied people, it's including people with learning disabilities, physical disabilities, those recovering from mental health problems. Everybody really is what it says on the tin, mixed ability. Mixed ability rugby works by having experienced rugby players on the team. They act as facilitators for less experienced players, those who are new to the game, and they assist, help and guide the players on the team to fulfil their role in rugby. The rules don't have to be changed for mixed ability rugby. We're not playing adaptive, that's the whole point really. Mixed ability rugby is about including everyone. There are a couple of small adjustments, so we don't have contested scrums, but other than that, it's just a game of rugby like any other. The benefits to mixed ability rugby are across the board really, so it's not just the disabled players that benefit from being included in a mainstream sport, and there's a genuine spirit and camaraderie before and after the game, during the game on the pitch, and I think it's a way for us all to experience first-hand real inclusion. It's worth noting there that the facilitators, the guys who were supporting people in, on both occasions it was Rupert who's brain injured. And it's, I've noticed recently they've shifted me from the wing where I dropped the ball more often than caught it, to the flanker, to become a flanker, because it's short passes and I can catch them mostly. But since then, Asan, who often does the presentations with us, who's our number 8, now bosses me on the pitch, because of course he does, he's number 8, he knows which way he's coming out of the ball, he hits me, he shouts me, he gets me to be with him, he's the one who calls the pod together. He's in charge when that happens, and it's a very loose, when we talk about facilitators, we're all players, we're all in the same team.
Is there, obviously you talk about minor rules, but in terms of reffing, I mean it's exactly the same thing, it minus those adjustments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe with a bit longer advantage.
I think it's a matter of communication really, so there's more communication in this ability game, so we make sure that before actually having a game you have a sort of chat
with referee.
The referee with two sides, so they really understand what was the aim of the game. So it's social. Well, winning is not the main point, but advantage might be one of the options, or if you have someone like Paul, maybe several balls that can't catch the ball maybe from a long pass, maybe if he knocks it down, then you might just go and just.
But not every time.
Not every time.
You know, it's rugby. And I think sometimes the ref talks as well, so he will explain his decisions.
Coaching the game. A lot of coaching the game.
But you'll find that both sides then will start to talk to each other. So for example, the opposition will say, well, stay back or hold line or whatever, just to facilitate the game. So,
and the refs absolutely love facilitating mixed ability games. They absolutely love reffing mixed ability games. After the tournament, we had kind of fantastic feedback from the referee.
And actually, for the first time in West Yorkshire, they put together a team. So it never happened before. And was it last month?
No, last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
They were quite dirty though, weren't they?
Yeah.
I found that they knew all the professional fouls and they were stripping the ball.
Last year, Matt, you know, so Ben this year.
Actually, you were talking about
Yeah. So sorry, this is the guy I was talking about, Asan. So when you hear his story, he obviously has a disability, but on the pitch, he doesn't. He knows what he's doing more than I do. Let's hear it.
What can we do? I just get a home or when you get bored and everything. Then I think look, but I was that first swimming session, just to look at it, what it's about. There's a training every week too. Well, I like it. I like it with my mates and all that, making different teams. Life is better than before.
Sums it up.
Yeah, I think there is another point that Hassan is traditionally from a background, well, he's of the Asian community that don't play rugby, they used to play cricket. But he's club captain and he's massive proud of the fact that he's the first Asian player from England. And we have probably more Asian players in the Bumbo style in the first season than any. So it's just different kind of social capital that you can create and attract.
I think one of the things that I've seen over and over again, because both Martino and I, as well as teaching, have a background in disability and in social care, is that when people have got a disability, often that comes before skin colour, before sex and sexuality. And actually the disability is, so they'll take an opportunity without kind of prejudice, so they don't have the same prejudices and the blinkers that we've got on, you know, from being able-bodied and just being part of mainstream society. Okay, I'm not going to, I'll go through this very quickly, but this is the bit where normally in a club, because one of the things we found in grassroots clubs is they don't understand about disabilities very much, okay? So if we were coming to Worthing Club or Haywood Heath,
Heath.
If we were coming to Heath or Worthing, if we were coming to Heath or Worthing, we would go through a bit where the guys would talk about some of the names that they've been called. These are genuine experiences. So we'd say to them, we're going to frighten you now, and this is names that we've been called. Can you think of any?
Yeah. Pup.
Yeah.
Mongol.
Mongol, yeah. Okay. No.
Spacker, dumb, blind and deaf, spastic.
Yeah. Think of any more there?
Stupid.
Stupid, yeah. Thick.
Yeah.
So these are names that the guys have all actually experienced being called. And then what we do is we kind of ease the tension that's sort of risen in the room, and we say, these are the right words to use. So what are they? If you want to describe somebody's disability.
Learn impairment.
Alright, it's not a bit fancy now.
What's going on
there? Learning impairment. Oh God, did you swallow a dictionary? It's a university environment. You tell me.
Well, we have like learning difficulties, learning mental health, and both.
Okay. And physical.
Physical.
And one of the things we found, because we added onto the slide later on, we added on mixed ability. We added it on because the club started to refer to all of their players as mixed ability. And it's kind of a nice thing, I think. It's a sort of movement. Because I don't have a kind of recognised disability, but I know I've got a specific learning difficulty which is dyspraxia, and I'm definitely mixed ability when I'm on that pitch. You know, there's guys there who are registered as having a low IQ or having some physical impairments, and they're ace, they're really good.
It's quite interesting because then after the presentation when we asked them, do you have any disability, do you have any encounter any disability in your life, they all got quiet immediately, so no one talk about that. And then you ask them, you've been rugby playing for 20 years, when you met any kind of injuries that put you off for 2 months, 3 months or something like that. So just to start to think of disabilities can be long-term, short-term.
Long term.
On my name.
I think we've said that, haven't we?
That's right.
Right, okay, so the Manifesto Martino, you should take this.
But that is actually something that we've put together quite recently, going through the process with Sport England, because I think we were mentioning before Special Olympics and Paralympics, so people who are starting, to ask, but what is disability? Why is it different? How is it different? And I think for us really is just grassroots sports, but with a membership, with an element of ownership on what you do. And it's not about classifying people, dividing, segregating activities. I mean, you can include people in mainstream clubs, but still having them segregated, just because you don't take into account that, for example, if you're running a session at 10 a.m. in the morning, you might not have all your members attending, because if you go to a day centre, they might be available, but not someone that works. So it's just taking into account that what we want to promote is the equal participation, equal pay. So what do you pay every year? That's from being with.
25.
No, but what is it for?
For it's the membership. It's there.
So you're a member of the club. That club is with the GMS or game management system. You're covered with the insurance, and you're just another player there. I mean, you're not just a special one. You're not really labelled.
So you have a player's meal with the other players. You drink at the bar with the other players. That's the nervousness that you find that other clubs have initially.
Throughout night time with players.
Sometimes we
social events.
sometimes we go like parties, some like anniversaries.
Bowling and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So tours, been on
Yeah.
tours?
Yeah, I've been Wales, France, Scotland,
Wait,
Wow.
summer,
Spain.
Spain,
Nice,
summer.
that's what I was about.
Okay, so
Yes.
tours, it's all part of the normal rugby behaviour,
Yeah.
including some people going to some rather inappropriate nightclubs in Leeds. Yes, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Were they late night shutting, were they?
Yeah.
Past his bedtime.
I think everything was open.
Yeah, I've been open.
The other thing, actually, just interesting, you went to Skipton, didn't you, the other week when we played at Wharfdale?
Yeah.
Okay, so the guys that played at Wharfdale, which is out kind of a sheep farming country, went into the nearest town, which I think on Emmerdale Farm is called Skipton, but in reality it's called Skipton. And while they were there, in their sort of rugby going out gear, they bumped into Skipton, local rugby club, and they ended up drinking with them. They bumped into Keighley, rugby lads who were over there, bumped into them. And it's kind of just been part of that network of what happens.
Yeah, Mark was mentioned before, Martin is one of our players, and he comes from a special Olympic background. So he went to Shanghai, he went to Los Angeles, so he won medals for weightlifting,
powerlifting.
And when he retired, because he had some back problems, he wanted to join rugby. But, so he went to his local, he went to his local rugby club, and they said, "We don't have anyone like you here, so we can't do anything for you." And it's not just putting that label, so you are different, but what does it mean? So he wasn't lucky enough with Bradford, and it was just a few miles down the road, so he was able to join the Bumbles. But again, for us, it's that kind of equal participation. So mixability really says that everyone is different, and they should be allowed to play. And if you have the capacity of understanding there is a risk attached to playing rugby or playing boxing because you want to do that, so you should be allowed. So that's why we produce resources that are quite easy to understand. So if you play rugby, that might happen. But then at the end of the day, it's your choice. You have the right to decide if you want to do that or not. It's just stopping people in cotton and say, oh, poor you, you know. You shouldn't really do it because it's too dangerous. We all do it. Why shouldn't
I think boxing and all the other sports got their own healthiness. Like boxing is more about cardio and energy because you keep on your stamina going. And some boxing is like dancing, it's for physio and keep your weight down and by keep on going.
Don't start with my coach.
This is our head coach. Do you want to introduce him?
Yeah,
This is Cookie.
Let me on.
Each time took to me out and took it, I to us for Bumble.
Who's playing for?
Bumble
And
and
The first team.
not for he won that, he played for Tipton now. Belgium, yeah. Played for Belgium now.
But he still trains the coaches
Yeah.
every Saturday morning.
He only laughed at that, they were watching England sleep.
well,
I was watching Ireland beat England.
Yeah.
Let's get it right.
I started coaching mixed rugby and the weekend after Andy, our founder, played in the annual fixture at the end. I'm surprised with how strong he was. That was about 7 years ago, and I've just been there ever since, having a laugh and just expanding it, seeing the team grow. I changed the training because when you coach disabled players, it's having a bit more patience and going through the basic skill sets. The best advice I can do is like big rate for the players. Every player is going to be different, so you can always have
guys train?
Every Saturday.
We train on Saturday about 11 o'clock, just
Yeah.
12:01.
That's
Extra minutes really important, I think. 12:01 did you say?
No,
12:01.
tell
I thought you said
12:01.
12:01.
It depends if you do 12:01 because it depends who's coaching us.
Sorry, I thought you said 12:01 there.
It's an interesting thing as well about who and how you get them involved. So at the moment we've got like the Wilson brothers playing first. The one's going to go play for Bell and the other one plays for the first team now on the wing. He's very fast. Here's the interesting bit though. My son also plays for the Bumbles and he could play for the second team. He could go to play for one of the minor teams. But because he is quite lazy, he doesn't want to train on Tuesday night and Thursday night. He just wants to train on Saturday morning with a mixed ability team and have a game a month.
Yeah.
And so there's another pot of people that you've reached into who otherwise would have given up rugby. So,
and the fact that the game is very similar to what you watch on telly or first team, you have all the veterans or retired players that can still get some kind of enjoyment out of it without being too, like sometimes just passing the ball to disabled people because you have to do something nice or something good. So they still have the tackles, they still have the line-outs and all this kind of stuff, so you still have the same game, but still competitive though.
Yeah. Right.
Cool.
Oh, man.
this is what you've all been waiting for.
I've done my level 1 tossing top 10, but I'll review. The first player we learned to teach. They've got their level 1 tossing top 10.
What did
we
you do?
One pathway, rugby ready.
Yeah, the whole class
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
All tactic, rugby ready,
And scrum factory.
and some pathway.
Just worth bearing that in mind.
Yeah.
You can get your players with learning disabilities and learning difficulties to do the sort of lower level courses, the entry level courses. Leon was given extra time for the scribe.
And writing.
So he came back to the class with the knowledge, and then we sat with him and we worked through the booklet, and he told us the right answers to put, and it was fair in that he put down what Leon remembered, and then he did the practical stuff and the sessions. In fact, I think, are you going to take the warm-ups tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
So good enough.
Be gentle with us, won't
Oh,
you?
I will.
Wow! Who's that?
Someone who means business.
Yeah, because that type of boxing is not about stands or how you do it. It's about how you move your body sideways and get the right going, but the right move. It's not about power or speed.
Who's in the class with you?
Sarah is one of our coaches. We've got
qualified coaches.
Yeah, we've got two more. We've got Jake.
The other participants who was there as well.
Yeah, we got some like bars. He could not move the hands there. Oh well, he comes. Just seeing those. We've got some able ones, some not able ones there. We've got some younger, older ones.
Yeah. I think the main point for me was it goes right back to when I first started working in social care back in the 1980s, and at that time everything was very much geared around social services and protecting people and not letting them have independence too much because it was risky. This is more about now. You've got to assume capacity because most people are capable of making decisions for themselves, providing they know the risks, and if they know the risks, if they're aware of that, and that's why easy lead guys can come in handy. If you're not sure, you can say, look, these bits can get broken, and quite often do. I think we've had a few breaks.
Yeah. We told her how many things up.
Usual, knee, shoulders and fingers.
I told you before.
So the point is that people can take those risks, and the greater health benefits are activity, sense of belonging, being part of a team, and just being part of mainstream society as well. And besides, if you don't put the right tackle in Michael, he'll just smash you to the floor. So
Put his rugby gloves on. Put your boxing gloves on.
You just need to remember there's no contact when we do boxing.
Mix it up, yeah.
Okay. this is basically as it says. So we want to get people with, as IMAS, we want to get more people doing sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to re-engage players because we know, how difficult it is actually to stick to a sport. Might be for many different reasons, but having a supportive environment sometimes makes a huge difference. And we see that we have people who are now coming to, for example, in Bradford there is Heaton's club, and they are becoming like a hub for the new activities. And we have people coming from the local community there who never used that centre before, but now the new activities are available. They see that it's not competitive. For example, the Asian community is quite comfortable having women instructing boxing and dance, so they just want to take part. And yeah, for us it's just moving away really for that kind of model of disability sport provision when you ship people in and out day centres or during daytime, just opening the door to anyone.
I think we want to also make sure that Heath and Worthing and all of the other new mixed ability clubs that have started up are able to inform their committees, their players, their membership, what's going on, which is why we would normally be doing this in a rugby club, slightly different version of the presentation, in a rugby club saying, this is how it works, if you want it to be a really inclusive club, let's make it happen here. And we would support you through that starting period.
Sometimes it's just a matter of breaking down the fear factor that doesn't make
it's a question mark, isn't it? What is it?
Well, sometimes that happens in Leeds, the club asks us, where do we park a wheelchair?
Where do we park wheelchairs? That's what they said.
It's just not having the right, vision about society.
That's what disabled. That's what disabled means.
About disability is just something that really out of context. But that's where we can share experiences that we have them co-producing the resources and say, look, we can do it.
One question from that video is that I didn't see anybody in a wheelchair, but presumably you have people that do as well?
We signpost them to a wheelchair rugby club.
Brighton, it's run by Bob Aldridge, and he runs the team here.
Yeah.
So
we have the same in Bradford. We have a rugby league team in Bradford. But I think
It's connected to the Bradford Bulls.
it is connected to the Bulls Foundation. But that's because of where we are.
But also, being like just another club, you have different roles. It's not just about playing on the pitch. You have people looking after kids, people organising fixtures, people taking social
This is
media.
what we have. Aldingbourne, we've got 5, I've just created with the chairman 5 roles for guys and girls from Aldingbourne. Hopefully one of them is going to get full-time employment. So that was a big thing. We have a guy called Sammy. Sammy is like our ambassador. He's come to play touch after 15 years being at home. He's not going out. He now plays touch. And he has mixed abilities. And now he does the scoreboard, the ladies, kit, water, and now he's around the club, beering it at the bar. Everyone knows Sammy. And that's why when we suggest this to the club, everyone went, bring it on, let's do it.
Really.
So
it's the right in. We had an Anthony that did it for us. It's a person that and do you know what's even better about that? It's because then it becomes really grassroots. So one person has sort of opened other people's eyes and said, I want this is something I want. We have that.
And also provides that kind of sustainability in the long term. So it's not just a project that ends in 6 months' time, so it's something that goes.
It's interesting you said about feedback regarding sort of, I think, ignorance, people's fear. And one wonderful thing, maybe it's the sea air at Worthing, but one of the great things the players do is when Sammy's played touch, we all go to the bar for a beer afterwards, we burn the calories and we consume it. And one of the things you constantly is good on you, mate, well done, big slap on the back. And I think we maybe just a lucky club in some respect. We don't tend to have ignorance. Everyone beating the first team, high five. So we're lucky in that respect. But I like to think more clubs are like that than not like that.
I think rugby's like that. And that seems to me that's how rugby is. And I don't know why, but that's why it's at the perspective.
It's the whole values, but also the fact that traditionally everyone's got a role in the rugby team.
How do you deal with that? I'm digressing a little bit. With the clubs where you don't have an in, where you don't have someone that, because I agree that I think rugby, it is rugby, so once you've introduced it, everyone's like, great, fantastic, but to the clubs, they're not necessarily resistant to it, but there's no leader there that really wants, like, how do you...
It needs a driver.
What
we're trying, what we're experimenting at the moment, we've drawn down some funding from Try to Change project, or we're hoping to draw down some from Try to Change project, and also the county sports partnerships. So we're looking at setting up in Barnsley, that's just one for an example. So Barnsley are looking at setting up with a paid coach initially.
Just
rolling.
To get it rolling, and that funding will support the initial rollout. There are some teachers working in that club, so potentially there could be a champion or a driver, which is what you're talking about, because that's what's really needed as well. Because you need a person you need people with learning disabilities who really want to do it, and then you need that champion and driver who's prepared to be the organising manager or whatever, take it over and run it. But if you can have the club behind it, you can have regular sessions with a coach. That's part of the style form.
If afterwards you're interested, I'll just quickly mention 2 minutes. Myself and Julie, Julie Baldwin again, she's a chair of the rugby club. My wife, we're starting up a new organisation to do with rugby and disabilities and mixed abilities and work. Now the point is that Crawley, I don't know if you know about Crawley, they have social Sundays as well. So the clubs, all Sunday afternoon is given to the bar 3 or 4 hours to mixed ability groups to use the bar as they see fit. So they can do what the hell they like. The side shot is, guys, if you've got a ball, do you want to go outside? Next thing you know, they're playing rugby on the pitch and just plugging it around for fun. Next thing you know, it's now taking off. So there's many different ways, but as you rightly say, it's just getting that first person in.
Why should a club bother? I think you kind of know. I think you've worked it out, so, and we've kind of gone through it, haven't we? That's another. There's a couple actually. So you've got the new rugby family, older players coming back together, new members. But actually, recognition locally, I think Cookie would talk about when he goes out, perhaps pub doors and bounces on the doors that were originally shut to him if he's got his Bumbles gear on. They just go, Bumbles, come in. It's not the old stop.
You're
a rugby club.
Also sponsor from the local community that like to back this kind of cause.
So guys who've hung their boots up, they come back, and you've touched on already the respect and the discipline side of things. And of course it's great for the players as well, because quite often they kind of come from undisciplined backgrounds. So initially in early training sessions, some people might have said, "Why are you telling me to do that?" And they might have had a bit of a hissy fit about it. But with a little bit of coaching and a bit of guidance to go off and cool down.
One training session, I was a bit peed off that it didn't go so well. I just walked off and just cooled down for half an hour, or just brief off just bit, then go back.
But there was a coach afraid for his life for about 5 seconds.
At this stage, and I'm actually, it was like,
what is the screwball?
What does this do? He learned it over top.
He learned a little bit of respect as well, didn't he?
He
did,
A bit of communication.
And playing for the second team, and
Yeah,
that was type of a quick type of game. It was me, Big Lee, and I think it was Anthony was playing in the second team. It was quite a fast type of pace of a game. And Goodis didn't do it, but
they didn't let me on.
That's brilliant.
But have you coached other players?
No.
Michael's quite new to the game. But pathways, which you just touched on, is something that's not part of the presentation because we hadn't considered it. It's something that's occurred naturally. Pathways onto playing outside of a mixed ability, playing in a third team or a second team.
We might have new players, and he might talk to new players.
We've always had it the other way around, so that players have come in from the second teams as facilitators and supporting roles. To actually have the guys go back out, that's a whole new ball game.
No, definitely.
Good stuff.
Jim, are we okay? We're nearly done. Let's see if we can recognise anybody from here.
We are going to speak about rugby, and today we're trying to promote disability rugby for 16 to 24-year-olds in the Brighton area. We've got a rugby match with 2 teams. One team is a mixed ability team against an opponent, and we'll do a little run out to try and get spectators to see what's about and understand a bit more what we're trying to do, and then hopefully get some more people. We're hoping to start some sessions for after this Monday, and hopefully bring more people over. Mixed ability rugby is for anyone of any ability, whether they're able-bodied or not so able-bodied, mentally or physically. Anyone that really, from beginner level to advanced level.
I've played mixed ability rugby for about 3 or 4 years now, and I really enjoyed myself, and it's great all round. It's a great opportunity for players without disabilities part of the team, really. Benefits of rugby, really you have the physical benefits of actually your body. It can help you lose weight. It can help you in many other ways. So for me, it helps me mentally quite well because it means that I'm able to take a lot of frustrations out, so to say, on the pitch, and actually just help me relax.
Here today, as you can probably hear, is absolutely amazing. Everyone's all talking to each other, and it really doesn't matter if you're good, if you're poorly, if you have abilities, if you don't have so many abilities.
I've been involved in rugby for about 7 years, but this was definitely a new experience and it was really fun as well. It was pretty physical, I've got to say, out there, and it ended up coming down to just 2 points in it. They were proper athletes as well, so yeah, it was a proper battle. I was blowing at the end of the half.
Very proud of that game. It was a lot faster than I expected. It probably quite a slow game. All the players got involved, and it really just helped everyone understand that just because you aren't able doesn't mean that you can still play.
The atmosphere has been absolutely phenomenal. Just great spirit at the club, coming across here, the teams, and I think that actually it's just gone really, really well. And just, I think on behalf of all very much, just want to thank everyone.
It's different sort of rugby, but it's just as fun. There's still a laugh, everyone has a drink afterwards, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Come get involved, like, rugby is such a wicked sport. Like, they welcome anyone with open hands.
You've really just got to give rugby a go. I think your team should take you on board and actually just blend you into a team and just support you to enjoy rugby. And I think that's what every member that's coming onto our team has done. We're finding the adjustments that we need to make you fit into the team and make it work for you.
To get involved in disability rugby, you can either come down and spectate, volunteer, play, or even get into coaching. You can find out more about disability rugby in our Facebook or Twitter pages, which is the Spirit of Variety, but also visit our website.
So thanks to Spirit of Brian for that. Allowing us to use that video without even us asking. Thank you. Yeah, we work closely with Nick as well from the Brave Hearts, so he's out actively promoting mixed ability rugby as well. So yeah, good stuff.
I've got a lot of young guys who I job coach. It's my third job, fourth job, and the idea is that there's a lot of pent up aggression, frustration, and we get that through the work. So we do like we get power tools out and we go on jobs and stuff, and it's like the eyes break. Can I use that? Help yourself. And you know, just drilling holes in things, cutting things, brilliant. But it's that release, and I can see this being a big release.
I think it is. Yeah, so we thought we might do before we do go outside. We thought maybe should we sit down for a bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be useful. To kind of find out, first of all, if there's anything, you've got any questions for us, but also what you'd like to do tonight and what sort of people, well, we know kind of now obviously we work with, but who you want to target so that we can have a session where maybe do some fun things, maybe working with young people. It's up to you. It's kind of what do you want from us?
Well, you start because you've got kind of, well, you've touched on it anyway, is like what you
My limited experience, and it is limited, we set to mixed ability, started, well, a mixed touch group on a Monday for players who didn't want to do contact. Mums, dads, kids, veterans, you know, the ibuprofen crowd. That's the only warm-up they do too, and then right, let's go. And then, as I say, Sammy came via Rawleybourne, my wife Julie, and she brought him down. And Sammy, as I say, hadn't done a lot of things, stayed with mum, never left the house, and he became part of the team. Now, with respect to Sammy, he can do a lot more than he lets on, right? So we can't say he's the body knows a lot. But the one thing, you know, for me, I get a bit nervous is that I know Sammy. Sammy texts me before every session, he does this, but it's the personalities I have to learn with working at Rawleybourne. But then it's, okay, if I'm going to design a session, it has to be all-encompassing. So I know what Sammy likes, I know what he wants. But then you've got all these different personalities, needs, desires, whatever. My concern is, or my fear, is that we're not going to engage and people might not come back because you're not tailoring it to their needs, as it were. Or do you say you can't please everyone, they've just got to buy into what you're doing?
I think you're a rugby coach, and actually you're the expert here, not us. And that's where you might need to take things right back. So, for example, I think when we started to learn tackle was on your knees, somebody walking past you, cheek to cheek, cheek to bum cheek. So that, and we practiced that for weeks, amongst other things. I mean, if you to do an hour of that, you'd be sitting pretty pissed off. But it's pairing it right back and then building up the skills of the team and then finding out who really plays where. So where can you play?
Number 15.
Yeah.
On the wing.
Okay. So do you see how it's just like any other team in the sense of sometimes there's going to be players who you can see in them. Kev is naturally prop forward. He just looks like a prop forward. He moves as quickly as a prop forward, which is walking pace. So it's kind of, you will place them, but technically you're the expert, and you are going to coach them rugby. So don't worry about pleasing them.
No.
They will want to learn what you've got to offer. And if you can recruit other people to support you, the facilitators are important. Other coaches, if you can get another coach involved, we have head coach, forwards and backs coach.
I'm taught.
Also, you are coaching towards a sort of aim. I mean, it's not just the training sessions. I mean, you have a game, you have a tournament, you have something more substantial if you want. So you train your skill into more just to be able to compete later on, or just different balance of the social event. But it's not just about passing the ball and tackling.
I think that's what we're trying to look at with the sessions we're delivering at the
this
college.
Is quite powerful. If you know that in 2 months' time you have a game.
It's something to look up to.
Don't Friday, don't love Matt. For Easter, to Friday.
We go.
One of the things we can do a little bit with you today then is we can do some sort of fun warm-up exercises that as though almost as though you were going back to right back to basics, and you just want the guys to get a feel for the ball, because quite often that's it. You know they've had little or no experience. Mark initially couldn't catch anything. Anthony's got cerebral palsy. He catches the ball in a basket. So, and the team have kind of learned over a period of time not to throw him a long ball because he's not going to go anywhere. So keeping short balls and drop it into the basket.
I think for me this is no experience at all about working with anyone from Accessibility at all. Mostly I've been working with children, sort of under 9s up to, and even, only most recently now, sort of under 14s, 15s, so that's my age group. Heath, I don't think we've ever had anything like this. Again, these kind of new initiatives and new ideas always need volunteers, always need people to, and you'll always find it's the same people that are going to have the time and say yes to everything and then pile it on their plate and have more things to do. So I'm not sure, I mean I would need to go to committee and we'll have a meeting and all that about if it's something Heath want to do, can do, let's go for it and deal with that. And then how we advertise that, and where we get all the
We've had an idea about this, and I think I mentioned to Gemma, camera lady, last time, was that we've got a county-wide idea first, that because of the location of Worthing, Horsham in the middle, we're right on the line between east and west. What we're thinking is advertising this through the club Sussex-wide and saying come to Worthing for the start a session. So whereas Sammy's at Worthing, we could have one player at Heath, 2 at Brighton, 3 at Paulborough, and then just bring them all down, and as it grows.
Where are they all going to come from, and how we, there might be sort of charities out there that have got sort of members that are coming to other groups, and they would like to do it, but how do we know they're there?
But all that's county-wide, so we've got people all over the county.
That's my role. That's my role.
This is the thing, it's probably all there, but it's,
I think that in the girls' rugby, retention's the hardest thing. It's not getting people in, it's keeping them there. That's really, really
if there wasn't a Gemma, we would find a Gemma from somewhere else. So there'd be another county sports partnership. There'll be the day services, the residential services. There'll be all of those places that people live and work at. That's where you're recruiting from. There's poster tools on the England Rugby website. I've got tons of examples of posters that people have used. They've even started now at Chobham, started to use it's actually out of date, what he's going to think, but they're using the old like Makaton sign symbols on their posters as well, because they're going up in centres and people are used to seeing them. So there's lots and lots of information.
Yeah,
that's our role.
So it's just a completely new area for me personally. There might be other people at the club who...
For example, Michael does live in Bradford. Where do you live?
I live in Keighley, and that's quite a bit of a journey getting to Bradford and Bingley.
How do you do it?
By money, I used to get like a weekly, pass.
Train, is it? Train?
No, bus.
So they're all independent travelers.
Independent skills. Independent skills.
So when the first time we did rugby, I was not decent at it. I built up each time when I did training.
We can do travel training. We go with guys on the buses to train.
Because when I played my first match, it took quite a bit of training. When I played my first match, I played about six or seven now games. I really enjoy it. It's not easy what people think it is. I know the training, I pulled a muscle up on my knee, and that was nice. I damaged the shoulder. More than once, so. Nearly sprained my ankle.
And again, if we do get something started, and there are things going on about the sustainability and actually getting fixtures in place and putting things in place, as you say, that would have to be well organised.
You know, we started, I think our first game was against a mixture
Black
of Colts and...
No, both Matt were...
It was internal, it was an internal...
It's Black Boy Town tournament.
Oh, Fat Boy 7. Actually, you're right, Leon's wrong. Leon's right, actually, I was wrong.
Yeah.
The first game
Black Boy Town tournament
was a local summer derby. You know, the Fat Boy 7s? I don't know if you've got anything like that, but several teams come together, usually for a charitable cause. We entered a team of 7s because I think there was only 7 or 8 of us at that time anyway. So it kind of starts small. Don't expect to have a fully functioning 15-side team immediately. We've got 37 players, 40 players. 20 plus turning up regularly for training.
I think this is where we can potentially come in as well, like as the Spirit of Brighton, is that the funding for the Spirit of Brighton officially ends in September, so we've now got, 6, 7, 8 months left. We've got quite a lot of budget left. Obviously we can't go throwing it at things, but if one of our targets is to get people into clubs, whether that's creating a brand new mixed ability team, whether it's getting people from our mixed ability sessions into the vets team, or whatever it is, that's one of our targets. If there are people out there like you guys or whoever it is that want to do that, that's what we're here for as well. So it's just about creating the links, making it happen. We've got budget, for example, to do a bus round Brighton to go to work or whatever it would be, just to get it started. And then, like you said, a sustainability element. So I don't know quite what it looks like yet, but it seems like there's something we can definitely.
It's names and numbers. I mean, the idea was just purely in this area. We know Crawley has already taken a lead. Myself and Julia are working at Aldingbourne, which is the big charity in Sussex, working with people with autism and Asperger's and supporting them. So we've got the people, we know the thing, but it's saying, can you lend us a coach? Can we use your ground for the day? We don't, should it be in Worthing or should it be in Crawley because it's more central? What happens if there's someone comes from Hastings? How are they going to get over? It's a long drive, blah, blah, blah. So it's that kind of logistical stuff. And then, ideally, as you rightly say, if one of us pulls away, for whatever reason, who's going to take over? Who's going to make sure everyone turns up? Where does the kit come from? And it's just having that organisational. We've learned girls rugby, whilst it's nowhere in the same, the retention, getting organised, it's the same problem. No coaches, no nothing. You have to create from scratch. And so we've got experience from scratch, and we've got 50 odd girls now playing. So we know it works, and it's booming simply because it's a very close-knit community where everyone helps. And that's what we need, I think, in this area to get it going quicker.
One of the things that we also sort of advocate is that clubs do something like an exhibition, or have an exhibition here. It kind of takes the fear out of it. Like Letchworth came here and put on the exhibition game, which took away the fear. So the opposition team were there saying, we've had great fun, it's been a hard game, and we've all enjoyed it. I think if you show that in a club, people breathe a sigh of relief then, actually, it's just another rugby team.
And you could have it on, Saturday, the first team game going on.
And you advertise it in the service users places. So you advertise it in the centres where people meet, which Gemma can get out there, and she can get the posters into centres as well. The other thing you might pick up there is you might pick up that driver or champion, so you might pick up somebody who's
also coaches, because Cookie started to coach the Bumbles because he saw the Bumbles. They were training the same day, they was training the first team, so Anthony grabbed him and said, actually, just play with us. But, and then he started to introduce all the first team players and the calls to the Bumbles. So, if you can do that the same days where there is a training session or another game, it's just
Then isolated by yourself and no one else knowing it's going on or seeing it. And
it's amazing what word of mouth does, especially with social media now. We've grown touching girls from that to big, just by just word of mouth.
Word of mouth is probably the best tool of all.
We've only got the outside until 8, so is it an idea to head out now, and then if we've got more questions, come back in, and we'll back in?
We've got this. We've got this.
Or we don't need to go out. Space in here.
Yeah,
because there's so few of us.